let's look at the top 5 players this week, Macca.
All right.
So this is based off the last 2 weeks of basketball. There's been a lot of changes to this list.
There has been. It's been a weird list change. Let me pull up the old list because, first of all, I know that Trae Young has completely dropped off from our top 5. He won't even be in the honorable mention as such. That actually goes to Paul George, our power ranking honorable mention this week.
He was a tough out.
Yeah. I wanted to give him credit because he's been leading the Clippers with Kawhi missing a few games, but he's been playing well, averaging about 25, 6, and 6, as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, leading all players shooting threes percentage-wise if you have attempted over 7 per game. He's shooting close to 50% on those. That's pretty over 50, crazy.
I checked it.
It's over 50, yeah.
It's 51.
So that's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
And again, leading one of the better teams in the league, not just in the West.
Yep.
But yeah, let me just grab the last week's rankings.
I've got it here.
Oh, so so who's dropped off? Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who were our sort of 5A, 5B in the first rankings.
Now, obviously, that is for the obvious reason of Kyrie just going completely MIA.
He fell off the list because he's fallen off the court.
Yeah. Kevin Durant's done nothing wrong, but he's also, his play has kept much the same, where we thought, there were guys that deserved to be on the list a bit more so than Kevin Durant.
The Nets have to win a bit more.
Yeah.
Especially in the East.
So we've added Stephen Curry to our list at number 5.
Yeah, deservedly so. Not just the 62-point game.
Yep.
He's been incredible.
Yep.
Averaging over 30 points per game, if I'm not mistaken. Close to.
It's dropped to 28.4.
28.4.
Yeah, I thought he was averaging 32 when I checked yesterday, but that's fine. Things change.
We're not wrong very often. If ever.
Just reference the other pods for that.
Yeah.
So he's averaging 6.2 assists, 5.5 rebounds, which is on course with his career averages. And his points per game are up on last year and looking back towards his MVP season. So, 28.5 points, really, really good efficiency as always.
Yep.
You never doubt any of that.
He's a special player.
Yeah, he's very special.
And he's playing about 35 minutes a game.
Yep.
So good for Steph. He definitely deserves some credit here. I still think he's arguably the most impactful player in the league right now because of the way he draws attention.
Yep.
The gravity on the court is like a lot of people like to refer to the way he impacts the game.
Yep.
When he's on, everyone tunes in.
Yep.
And he's on pretty frequently.
He had a really tough start to the season. And to get back to where he is now and then to lift up all his stats like that in the space of 2 weeks, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, he's the reason why the Warriors are hanging in games at the moment. Once they get that cohesion right and other players start performing to that level, they'll be much better. But, yeah, Steph's a big reason why they're hanging in games like that.
No doubt, yeah. So he was number 5. Number 4, we've got Domantas Sabonis for the Indiana Pacers. Outstanding season. Josh mentioned earlier his hot take was that, or one of his hot takes was that Sabonis should be in the MVP conversation. As we pointed out here, we definitely think he is.
Yeah.
He's carrying this Pacers team along with Malcolm Brogdon, but the offense has really started to go through Sabonis, as we've previously referenced. His stats are outstanding. He's 3rd in rebounding in the league, and for a big guy, he's 23rd in assists overall, which is pretty impressive as well. He's arguably one of the top 10 players in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now.
And he's been underrated for such a long time, even making the All-Star game. People didn't know who he even was.
I know.
Which shocks me that you wouldn't pay attention to a guy that's putting up, 20-point double-doubles, has had a double-double in every game. To this point, those kinds of things don't happen very often. Like Kevin Love did it. He's done it a couple of times. Andre Drummond has done it a fair bit. But, the level of play that Sabonis is at right now is a big reason why the Pacers are 8-4. So, that's why he's there. He has dropped one spot, but he's given up his spot to
Joel Embiid.
At number 3.
So they swapped spots. The two of them have swapped spots here from the last power rankings. Joel Embiid has been averaging 25 and we'll give him 12 rebounds a game, shooting 54%, which is a good improvement of his field goal percentage, close to 40% from three and 85% from the free throw line. Outstanding numbers. Leading arguably the best team in the East next to Milwaukee.
I'd have them as the best.
You'd have them over Milwaukee?
Yeah, I would.
Wow.
Okay. I would.
Spicy. Embiid has been a beast, and he's really... It seems like he's taking this season very seriously. He wants to win. He isn't memeing all the time anymore as such, per se. And I think Doc Rivers has sort of unlocked the way to play with him and Simmons.
He still has a tendency to settle for a mid-range shot. Yeah. And that bothers the absolute, that word out of me. Yeah. Because he's 7'3".
I know.
And has so much strength in the post. You can't stop him. You can't stop him in the post.
Shaq-esque.
So the fact that he steps back and shoots these weird mid-range shots is really,
he's making more of them.
Yeah, but still, he shouldn't.
I agree.
The efficiency should be much higher for a player like Joel Embiid. But then again, he drops a 46-point double-double against the Miami Heat, including a shot that takes them to overtime, which was unbelievable. Step back mid-range. It was whatever.
I want to give him credit for that game as well, but Miami was also shorthanded.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of guys that were isolating.
It shouldn't have gone to overtime.
Agreed.
But yeah, the stat line for Joel Embiid was 45 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and he also had a career-high 5 steals in an overtime game. He was unstoppable in the third quarter. Once he decided to drive in and look for his shot, that was when we really saw Joel Embiid playing at his best.
That's right.
Embiid is one of those players you can't stop. When he's on, he's on. It is important to mention that in that game, the Miami Heat, we didn't have a player that was over 7 foot except for Kelly Olynyk, who is not a center. He's a power forward. He plays on the perimeter.
It's a tough matchup.
And Precious Achiuwa spent most of the game guarding Joel Embiid, which was a big learning curve for him.
Oh my God, imagine that.
It was tough. Precious Achiuwa is a great defender, but he's also 6'8", so he really struggled matching up against a guy that just shot over the top of him comfortably. But yeah, watching Joel Embiid go to work in the post like that was the real highlight of the game. Less mid-range shots, the better for Joel. He really looked for his shot inside, and he's done that more and more this season, which is why he is our number 3.
That's right, yeah. So that's, the bottom 3 of that list so far. Who do you got number 2?
The King, LeBron James.
The Kang.
Yeah, he deserves to be on this list.
Absolutely.
It was really hard to leave him off last week.
Yep.
We thought that, attributed a lot of wins to Anthony Davis, but, Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis and does the same thing week in, week out. The King is a different level of player.
I was going to say, I don't think Davis has played all that well overall this season. His stats are down. They're taking it very easy. Pardon me. They're taking it very easy overall, the Lakers are. They are leading the league in wins. I think they're 11-3 at the time of this recording.
Yep.
But LeBron has been outstanding. 24, 8, and 7. Almost 8 assists actually per game. So his numbers are down a little bit overall, but he's been the best player on the team and arguably the best player in the league still.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about. Just impressive to watch.
What are his numbers looking like?
He controls the game. LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah, 24, 8, and 8, basically. 48.5 from the field.
Yep.
38 from 3, which is really good.
Crazy.
And he's actually shooting pretty well for him from the free throw line. He usually is under 70, but he's 73% this year. Yeah. So LeBron is doing LeBron things.
Yep.
And it's year 18.
Yep.
So what can you say?
He's fantastic. There's no more superlatives for LeBron. He's the best player in the league, best player for a long time. And he's not number 1 on our list yet.
Nope.
And there's a reason for that. That is because the Joker is
the man,
untouchable.
Yeah.
He holds his spot at number 1 and deservedly so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely amazing to watch this guy play basketball.
Yeah.
You
can't say anything.
Nah. He's averaging
say enough.
Career high numbers across the board. 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 10.5 assists for a guy over 7 foot is, unheard of. He's actually listed at 6'11", but whatever, 7 foot to me. He's shooting 56% from the field and 37% from three.
Yeah.
His free throw numbers are at a career high 84%.
He's just a machine.
You can't stop him.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
He's too bulky, and he's too skilled, and he's too smart.
And at this stage of the season, he's the MVP. At this stage,
I couldn't agree more.
Yep.
He has been controlling everything for Denver. The rest of the team has yet to pick it up as of late.
They've been very poor.
They've been underperforming, definitely.
They've been poor.
But yeah, Jokic has had some big games. Like he had a couple back-to-back. He had 35 and then 38 against Minnesota and Dallas. But yeah, he's led some impressive wins. They beat Philadelphia by 12, although that was the game where Philly was missing 9 guys. But Denver has so much room to improve. Once they all gel and get on the same page, that team is going to be, we still think, the number 1 or the number 2 challenger to the Lakers. It's either them or Dallas.
Yep.
But that was our players' power rankings. Nikola Jokic.
The only thing I would say about Denver, because they're not on our team ranking, so I do want to go into it a little bit. I would like to see them bring in a center to pair with Jokic.
As another center, like a Mason Plumlee was before.
Yeah, because his effectiveness, he is, the most effective center in the NBA right now.
Yeah. But
I would like to see him also have the ability to play the primary ball handler and not have to worry about being in the paint all the time. He's been sensational this year, so if they don't, it's fine. He's playing unbelievable, so they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
But to this point of the season, adding another big guy isn't going to hurt, and Bol hasn't been there. So he started 1 game this year, 2 games, and is just not, he's not ready. He's not big enough.
I honestly thought he would contribute a lot more.
I thought he would too.
We were pretty high on him.
I was really high on him. And Hartenstein, not ready.
Hartenstein.
He was the one that I pointed out in preseason as a really good get.
We gave him like a 10-minute segment.
He's played...
He'll never see that again.
He's played 10 games, averages 10 minutes per game, is averaging 5 points. These guys are all... They're young, and Michael Porter's had some injury problems this year. He's missed majority of the season now, and I don't know if that's due to protocol or if it's injury related.
Just a quick fact check for you, even though that's not what we do.
He is in protocol.
He has been isolating for health and safety reasons.
Yes.
Hopefully he returns soon. Don't know when the latest update was. Maybe 4 days ago.
Yep.
But yeah, that's that.